Hello and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong and here I like to talk about luxury beauty. Today we are taking a look at a bunch of new products as well as the Muse Beauty Pro sale. Muse Beauty Pro is doing their customer appreciation sale from April 14th to April 30th and they have 20% off site-wide. So some of the items that we are going to be looking at today are things that you can get from Muse Beauty Pro, and they ship, I think it's over $50 is free in the US and over $150 is free internationally. So let's go ahead and get started. On my base products, I used the Tom Ford, this primer, the Traceless Soft Matte, and the Viseart Eye Primer. The Viseart Eye Primer is my go-to. I use it every single day. So I start off by putting those on, and then we moved into the Rodial Peach Lowlighter. So the Rodial Peach Lowlighter is one of my favorite under eye products. It's not truly a concealer, but I use it as a concealer. It does help disguise some dark circles and things like that. It's not going to provide like a ton of coverage, but it adds a brightening effect and helps camouflage kind of those dark shadows under the eyes. So it acts as though sort of like a light concealer. So it's one of my favorite products because it's the formula, you know, it doesn't gather into lines. It has like elasticity in there, and it really just kind of, you know, it doesn't like sit on the skin. It just kind of becomes one with your skin. It looks really beautiful. So I used one of the ESUM brushes actually to apply this today, and this is the T43. So I think this is a nice brush for concealer. Typically I'll use something a little bit fluffier, but I wanted to try this one out and it actually performed really well because of that nice arrowhead shape. Really like that. Next, for foundation, I used the Sisley Cushion Foundation, and this is the new Fido Blanc Look Cushion in 00C Swan, and with it I used the Koh Gen Do buffing brush, which is a synthetic brush. This is really a great brush for foundation in my opinion because it has that rounded shape which will give you kind of like a soft buffing finish. Also works on powder foundations, yet it's dense enough to not have like a wispy, you know, line effect with products, yet it's not so dense that it's a terrible pain in the butt to clean. So it's one of my favorite foundation brushes, and this concealer or this foundation is one that I'm really enjoying. I'm just not sure yet, like I'm not ready to commit and say, oh, you should definitely run out and buy it because it's very, very expensive for what you get. So I'm kind of testing it to see like how long it lasts before I have to kind of flip the cushion and things like that. And but I really like the way it performs. I love the way it looks on my skin. You know, it's the best cushion foundation I've ever used, to be honest. Next, we're using the Guerlain Terracotta Light Bronzer, and this is in shade 00 Clair Rosé or Light Cool. And this is the new bronzer that came out this year. It has a variety of colors in here, so you've got, you know, some warm tones and some cooler tones kind of mixed in there, as well as one shimmery shade meant as a highlighter. And I think it does a really beautiful job as a bronzer. So I like to dust this more so on the back of my cheekbone, and I put a little bit of it everywhere, but not so much. And I'm using the ESUM V50 brush, which is one of my favorite angle brushes. This one's fairly dense, so I think it works really well with products that are a little bit firmer. And in particular, I typically use it for cream products because it's one of my only angled face brushes that I feel comfortable using with a cream product because it does have synthetic fibers. And next we are using the Westman Atelier. This is the new Super Loaded Tinted Highlight, and we're looking at the shade Peau de Sante. And this is a gorgeous rose shade, but it has golden micro pearl in it. So, you know, there is some shimmer to this. You can see it on my cheeks. You can see that it acts definitely as a highlight. It's not chunky, but there's definitely shimmer there. However, I find that on fair skin, this highlighter essentially has enough color that it can act as a highlighting blush, which is how I typically like to use the Super Loaded Tinted Highlights. And I think it's just a gorgeous complement to having just a touch of bronzer. It really gives you this gorgeous summer glow. So I'm really enjoying this. And let's take a quick look at this. So the packaging for this is a little bit like it's a little rose tinted, but it's like a rose gold packaging, and it does come with a soft pink canvas pouch. And you have a little lip here to open it. I don't know if it's just me, but I always have a hard time opening these tinted highlighters because you kind of have to pry it open. It is a magnetic closure. And this is the product here. So let me go ahead and swatch this, and we're gonna compare it to the other ones that I have from this. So first of all, look at how creamy that is just from touching it. And you can see here the golden pearl in here. Look at that. This would also be really pretty on the eyes if you're somebody who likes kind of those colors on there. For me, I don't, and I also find it to be a little bit too emollient unless you have dry lids. So there are 3 other super loaded tinted highlights. I only have 2 of them. The one is like a golden shade, which I thought was too deep for me, so I did not pick that up. But this one here is Peau de Rosé. You can see this one has black case with a gold frame, and it's just as creamy as the Peau de Sante. Let's put that here. Now you can see that these are kind of similar in color. The difference is the Peau de Rosé. So the color here, this one's actually more of a true pink, whereas the Peau de Sante has some peach in it. So it's gonna be a little bit warmer. It's a peachy pink. And again, we've got the golden micro pearl in here. This one, it does have like a little bit of a golden highlight to it as well, but actually predominantly you see a little bit more like a silver whitish shimmer in that one. So it's going to be a little bit cooler in tone overall than the Peau de Sante, but they are very close. And then the other one that I have is Peau de Pêche. And I believe this was the first one. So I was saying before I dropped this, that I believe this was the first one that came out. So Peau de Pêche, I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful shade. You can see we got the black packaging. We have a silver frame instead of the gold. And here's Peau de Pêche. So it's definitely going to be a stronger color, and you can see, you know, it's like more of a peachy nude. So there's a little bit of brown in here, but there's peach. And don't mind all these little like faded stains on my hands and fingers. The girls are on spring break, so we have been tie-dyeing for the last 2 days, and I got splattered. So if you're looking at these 3 shades, the Peau de Sante sort of fits right in between the 2 of these, but it's going to be much closer to Peau de Rosé. Overall, formula-wise, I personally love the super loaded tinted highlights. If you haven't tried them yet, I think they're one of the best products in the Westman Atelier line. I prefer them over the highlighting sticks like Nectar and Lit. They're called the Lit Up highlighting sticks. I prefer these over those because I find that these sink in more to the skin and I don't have any like tacky feel to them. I also like the pigmentation level. For me, they work beautifully, and I really think of them a lot for summertime use. So they are one of my go-to products during the summer. Next up for eyes, we are using one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes from Viseart, and this is the Violette Étendue palette. And I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch the shades that I used here. So I ended up using these. And I just think this is one of the best purple palettes that exists. So if you're looking for a purple palette, this is stunning and it's such a great value. And then I use this one as liner on the upper lash line. I mean, look at these shades. The mattes work so well. They blend out so nicely. They give a nice, even, smooth base. The shimmers are gorgeous. And you can see there's like a touch of duochrome in here. So this you can see like pink, like a pinkish violet with some blue. And even in the silver here, you can see like a little bit of a pinkish hue to it. And then you've got this beautiful deep purple. I absolutely love Viseart shadows, and I personally always wait for the Muse Beauty Pro sales and the Viseart summer sale to pick up my Viseart palettes. So this is definitely one of my favorites. And I want to say that, you know, I have created a shopping guide for Muse Beauty Pro with, you know, my favorites from the store. So got things like the ESUM brushes, the Viseart palettes, and so forth. So I have a whole shopping guide on Shop List if you're interested in seeing my recommendations. But there are definitely some great things to pick up. And one of the best things about Muse Beauty Pro are their bundles. they have these fantastic sets that combine a lot of products, like, for example, the Eton Du palettes with a dual eyeliner from ESUM and like a brush and so forth. So you can get these great sets and you get a discount by purchasing them as a set. And then again, we've got the 20% off store-wide. So it's just a fantastic deal. So definitely check out, my shopping guide if you are interested, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any other recommendations. Now, Muse Beauty Pro, they actually did send me the Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Flakes in Shooting Star. So this is Shooting Star. I mean, look at that. It's so pretty. So I've been really curious about these and I wanted to try these. And this one here, my little cushion thing, stopper, kind of got, I peeled off the thin layer. So now it's harder to pick up. But this is it. And you don't need any like primer or base or like glitter glue or anything with this. It's all like embedded in here. So I've been testing these out. If you put this on with your fingers, you can get more of this like scattered effect, right? But if you put it on with a brush, you can get it more densely covered. Let me go ahead and get a little bit here. And so I used it with a brush. And I mean, look at the difference there. You can really like pack it on, cover the whole lid and so forth with a brush. It's kind of like the opposite of most shadows where you get more pigmentation with your fingers, whereas this actually gives you more coverage with a brush. So I used the ESUM V27 brush, which is one of my go-to brushes for any sort of like wet cream shadow if I'm using like a liner or something like this. So I have already worn the Chrome Flakes for a couple of days to just kind of test out the formula. I have to say I'm incredibly impressed because it doesn't crease, it doesn't budge. It comes off easily when you're ready to remove it at night, but like these little flakes and everything, they're not falling off, and they're also not messing up my shadow underneath. They're stunning. So it's really just like these little thin pieces. I can't even feel them on my eyes. And, it's like in a wet medium, and once it dries, it's there and they're not like budging. So you can see when you build it up kind of opaquely, it does kind of cover your eyeshadow. So I just kind of played around with it and put it in more of a triangle shape just so I didn't cover all of the eyeshadow because I really liked my eye look today. And then we moved on to the ESUM mascara. So this is a new product from ESUM. I think ESUM is releasing a bunch of new cosmetics this year. I think they are expanding their cosmetics line. I have not heard that officially, but that is my thoughts based on what we've been seeing so far. But the new ESUM mascara I think is a really great volumizing mascara. I do have a video featuring this. I'll leave it linked down below in the description box, but I think it's a really great option, and there's a great set with this. So if you're interested in the mascara, check out the ESUM mascara set on Muse Beauty Pro. It's a really good deal. Next up, we have the ESUM dual lip liners, and I will swatch all of those and show those to you in a minute. But first, on my lips, we are starting with the new blushed shade in the dual lip liners, and I'm using the pink side. There's a peachy side and a pink side. So we're going to outline everything with the pink side, just as a little barrier, and then I'm using the Hermes lip oil in shade number 5, Rose Cola. So I had actually ordered a couple of these, but they canceled my one that I ordered. I have not ordered any additional ones yet, but I think I probably will. I was just hoping to get them on sale because I do find them kind of expensive. They're $55 US for each one, and they have some gorgeous shades. I think there are 6 shades, if I remember correctly. In each one is supposed to have a different scent to them, and they're supposed to be like a little fruity. So I'm not sure what fruit this one is, but it smells pleasant. I like it, yet it's not overpowering. So it's a really nice lip oil. It's very comfortable on the lips. It's not as thin as some lip oils. It has kind of like a medium weight texture. It feels more like an oily lip gloss. And I do like to pair this with a lip liner around the edges because it is oily enough that there can be some feathering or bleeding, but I find these to be really comfortable on the lips, And I'd say they last 2 to 3 hours before I need to reapply, but they make your lips just look so lush. So I'm really enjoying the one that I have. And yeah, I think it's a really beautiful color. So let's take a look at this. So here, we'll put this one here. So here's Rose Cola. You can see it's a beautiful nude pink. Let's take a look at the new Givenchy liquid lip balm. This is in 210. You can see, you know, this one's my favorite from the Givenchy. It's just a little bit rosier, but they are kind of a similar color. The closest Sisley color to number 5 here is 7, which is called Venus. Let's put that right here. Although this one you can see is going to be, it's slightly more sheer on the lips, but it's more brown. This is really more of a warm nude, and it doesn't have any of that. This is like more of like a peachy pink, whereas this one's more pink. So this actually, you know, it's kind of like the difference between the Peau de Sante and the Peau de Rose. So those are just a couple of comparisons, but just take a look at how these finish. So these are a lip oil. So you can see as it's on my hand, the center has kind of sheared out because this is an oilier texture versus the liquid lip balms from Givenchy, which kind of maintain the color throughout a little bit better. And then compared to the actual lip gloss from Sisley. So all different formulas, they all have a similar amount, like thickness on the lips. And I find them all to be really great and comfortable. I love the texture. They all have kind of a similar texture when you rub your lips together. Of course, these are going to feel a little bit oilier than the others, but they're super comfortable. So let's take a look at the ESUM dual lip liners. So they actually sent these to me when they launched the newest 2 shades, which are Blushed and Brazen. So here's Blushed and Brazen. So let's start with these. So I had never tried these before, and I have to say I really like them. I feel like I was missing out. We'll go on this side. So here's the peachy nude side. And then we also have a rosy side here. And I mean, this is gonna be like an everyday lip pencil for me. What I really like about this, I've been wearing this one actually as, you know, I just put this on my lips and then top with some clear lip balm or gloss, and it's a great color and it really lasts. So I'm really happy with these. This here's Brazen. This is one, it's a little bit bright for me, but it's really great for a summer pop. And these are so creamy that they mix together really well. You can mix these together on your lips to kind of create your own color, and then they will set. They'll set in place after a few seconds. So you've got plenty of time to kind of blend it and so forth, but after you leave it, that color is going to kind of stay put. And you know, I wouldn't say they're waterproof, by the way. So that's one of the great things about them. And that's one of the things that I think is going to make them like a summer staple, especially if you're somebody who like goes swimming a lot and stuff like that and you want to have color on. This one here is nude. This is one of the original shades. And you can see this is going to be a warm brown. So it does have golden tones to it. And then the deeper shade on here is going to be a rich chocolate brown, which is actually like my favorite shade for an eyeliner, but I think they do have an eyeliner like this. I don't have those yet. And then this one here is Plum. This light shade here for Plum, I want to put this one kind of right in between here because this makes me think of the shade from Blushed. You can see how close they are. They're very close. So looking at them, this one, the Plum, has just a touch more red in it. And it's actually slightly warmer. You might think it would be a little cooler with, you know, the name Plum, but it's actually slightly warmer than the rosy shade in Blushed. The deeper shade here is going to be a really rich purple here. Look at that. It's like a reddish grape. So you've got like the pinky undertones to it, but you can build that up to like a rich, like, I don't know, like boysenberry. It's really pretty though. And then we also have red. So we've got 2 sides here. Let's start with the more burgundy side here, this is gonna be like a great red lip pencil for me. I always reach for the red burgundy shades to go with my red lipsticks because I think I just give it a little bit more dimension. And then this brighter red on its own, I just love this by itself, even just with a little lip gloss or even without lip gloss. But I think this is great, and these blend out so well. If you don't want them full force, you can use a brush to apply them to get like a lighter color, or just put on a little bit and kind of smear it in with your lips or a brush, and totally works to get kind of a softer color. Top it with gloss and you've got a really great lip look. So just a few comparisons real quickly. Let's start off here with the Sisley Nude lip liner, and we're going to put that right here. You can see that the Sisley is going to be a little bit peachier, and you know, they actually have about the same amount of warmth. The big thing is just the color difference. This is Nude Brun from Chanel. This is number 162. And let's put that right there. And again, you can see there's a pretty big difference here. This one has more red in it. Then this is Nude from Gucci. So this is number 1. Let's see, can we fit this in right here? That's gonna be closest in color. You can see that this one though, it has a little bit more red in it. It's also slightly darker. This is my favorite red lip pencil. This is Brun Carmen from Chanel in number 188. Let's put that right here. And you can see this is still gonna be a little bit more burgundy, whereas the ESUM is a little bit more maroon. And a few Pat McGrath, we've got Starstruck. Let's put that right up here. Look at that, that's kind of close. It's a little bit rosier. Bare Rose. Put this here. Doesn't quite go with those. Half Naked. They're all kind of similar. So those are just a few comparisons. So overall, I have to say I'm really happy with all of these. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the lip swatches for the ESUM dual lip pencils while we talk a little bit more about the products that we use today. So as I mentioned, I do have a shopping guide on ShopList for the Muse Beauty Pro sale with all of my favorite things from the store. And again, they have 20% off site-wide from April 14th through April 30th. And I would recommend things like the ESUM brush book. A lot of these ESUM brushes, I put my favorite ones there. And the Viseart palettes, those are kind of like my go-to brands for Muse Beauty Pro, such as the Viseart eye primer. And yeah, I've got all of that stuff there, but I would also recommend these Danessa Myricks Chrome Flakes if you are looking for something kind of unique and different. I think it's really cool. They feel comfortable on the lids, and I have to say I'm really impressed with not only how they perform, but just how they feel on the eyes, because I cannot feel them. And I was sure that it would feel uncomfortable to kind of like open and close my eyes with these on, but it really isn't. The texture of this is just so thin and it's really cool. So again, I have the shade Shooting Star. Now, as for other things, might as well go through the ESUM products right now. Again, I would definitely recommend taking a look at the ESUM brush sets or some of the Viseart ESUM sets that they have in general, like the Eton Do sets. Would definitely recommend, you know, checking the sets before purchasing things individually, because they have some really great options and it's a great way to get an even better deal than 20% off. So definitely would recommend those. Love the ESUM mascara, and these dual lip pencils, they're really fantastic. I had no idea they were so good, but I'm definitely gonna, next time they come out with a new shade, I'm buying it right away. So it's, they're really good. I really like the colors. I like how you have something dual ended that's easy to take with you. And, you know, there's just a great travel option, a great way to not have to pack like a lot of lipsticks and things that could break or melt depending where you're going. Plus they're waterproof. So, I mean, you really can't beat that. They have fantastic performance. As for other items we talked about today, the Hermes lip oil, I really like these. So I'd love to know what shades you've picked up, if you've gotten any already, and what you think of them, if you have any recommendations. I do plan on picking up more of these. you know, it's hard for me to resist buying all of them, but I know I don't need all of them. So I'm probably just gonna wait for a sale. So definitely like those. And I would definitely recommend trying one, but again, because of the price, try and get it on sale. Westman Atelier, the Peau de Sante, I think is a really beautiful shade. And if you have Peau de Rose and you like that, you're probably gonna like Peau de Sante, but you might find it to be too similar. However, if you pass on Peau de Rose because it's a little bit too cool for you, then Peau de Sante is a great option because it is going to be a little bit warmer. And again, you see a little bit more of that golden micro shimmer in there. There is definitely shimmer in both of these. Whereas the Peau de Pêche, it doesn't have that same type of micro shimmer. So the Peau de Pêche has more of this like sheen to it, this highlighter sheen, but you're not seeing like glittery particles. And I've actually heard that some people, their Peau de Sante, they're not seeing any shimmer. I personally see it in mine, so I'm not sure, you know, if there are batch differences or what, but I have seen a few Instagram posts that claim that there is no shimmer in this one. I personally see shimmer. So just a heads up, if you're really kind of on the fence and the shimmer is a big deal for you, check it out in person when it becomes available in person. Right now, the Peau de Sante is exclusive to the Westman Atelier website and I believe goop.com. I'm not sure if it's actually on Goop yet, but according to Westman Atelier, it's going to be exclusive at those two places for at least a while. So I don't know if that's going to be like all year or just a few months. So just a heads up on that. It is not limited edition though, so it will be sticking around. And other things, the Rodial Peach Lowlighter, as I mentioned, this is a go-to product for me. I'm really enjoying this. I've been using this on and off for months, and it's definitely something with warmer weather coming that I'm going to be reaching for even more because I love the formula and consistency, and I tend to go for things that have lighter coverage during the warmer months. Sisley Foundation, we've already covered, and the Guerlain Bronzer, we've already covered. I think they are both great options. All right, and one last thing I wanted to share with you. This is something ESUM sent over with the lip pencils, and this is like the coolest thing because this is the best pencil sharpener I've ever seen. So it's ESUM. I've already kind of opened this here, but this is just the case for it, right? And then you do have the two sizes for the sharpener. You've got your cleaning pick here that slides out. It just slides in there. The coolest part is that these actually move. So you see this white part here, you can just push these down and it's gonna change how you sharpen the pencil so that you can get something like, you know, something more dull with more of a space for shading, or you can get a super fine point. So you can kind of customize your sharpener a little bit. So I just think that's really cool and it works really well. So yeah, these, you know, you just kind of push it down, but I found that you kind of want to push this in a little bit to get it to move, because when you first get it and it's like super straight, it's a little bit hard to get that to go down. So just push that over a little and then you just pop it right back up, and then it fits in this little case so you don't get a mess anywhere. So absolutely fantastic. Really, best sharpener I've ever seen. So thank you so much to Muse Beauty Pro for sending me those items. And again, I would love to hear what you guys think of all of the items that we featured here today. If you've picked up any of these items already, or if you are planning on it, are you shopping the sale? Don't forget to check out my shop list page, and I will see you very soon. So have a great day. Everything will be linked down below in the description box. I hope to see you again very soon.